Well, for those of you who have always wanted to own a home on the Toronto Islands, now is potentially your chance. The purchasers list is open to put your name in the draw for one of the 27 spots available. For more on all of this, I am joined live now by Alison Rogers, chair of the Toronto Island Trust. Alison, good to have you. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so I guess first off, explain what this means. It sounds like it's basically a lottery system to potentially get your name at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, so the Toronto Island Trust keeps a 500-person wait list, which in order for of people who wish to buy a home on the island. And we have 27 spots open at the bottom of the list. And obviously there's more than 27 people interested in buying a home on the island. So what we do is we collect applications and then we draw names at the end of the month. So that'll be on November 5th.
Okay, so as you mentioned, 27 spots. For those lucky 27 people that get onto the list, what happens then? It's basically when a home comes up for sale, how does it work with the list?
So if somebody wants to sell their home, they notify the trust, and then we would send out offers to the first 100, 150 people on the list, sometimes up to 200, depending on the cost of the property. And those people would have the opportunity to bid on the house. They're not putting in a dollar amount bid, but they're putting in their bid as in they're interested in buying the house. And whoever is highest on the list, so whoever's closest to number one who puts in a bid, will be the person who's eligible to purchase that house.
And can you explain, Alison, I mean, this trust has been in action with this system in place since 1993. So why was it important for this to happen? Correct me if I'm wrong. It was to kind of make sure that people who were well off weren't buying these homes and using them just as vacation homes.
Yeah, so the land on which the community sits is provincial land. And so the whole mechanism is put in place so that there aren't windfall profits made off of public land. So the leaseholders are required to live in their houses year-round. The part of the purpose is to keep a year-round community and to prevent windfall profits from occurring to those people who are in the houses. So you cannot sell your house on the open market. Houses are valued by an appraiser at replacement value, and then when somebody goes to sell their house, that replacement value is what the house is sold for, plus
Gotcha.
the cost of the lease.
And it seems to be working. I mean, I feel every time I go to the island, it's such a different vibe there. You can see Toronto, but you're kind of like, where am I? Like, you don't really feel like you're in Toronto. It's definitely a different kind of vibe for people who are in those neighborhoods on the islands. I mean, obviously, well, you tell me, do a lot of people want to live there? Like, a lot of people probably want to get on this list.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's a lot of interest, and that's why we do the draw, is so that everybody has an equal chance to get on one of those 27 spots. I mean, the island it's a magical place. It's a step away from downtown, but also the convenience of being a step away from downtown. And yeah, we're very super lucky to live on the island. And, every time I step off that ferry, it's like a weight is lifted, and, it's just a much more relaxed pace.
It really is. And just lastly, before I let you go, I mean, I've seen on your website that the trust says, obviously, you can't anticipate how many homes are going to come up for sale each year. But I have heard there is an aging population on the island. And I know some people pass their homes down to their children, for example. But I mean, do you anticipate more homes coming up for sale?
The pace does seem to be quickening a bit. We have 4 houses coming up for sale in the very near future. And as people age, they have various reasons for leaving. And if they don't have a spouse or a child that they have to leave their house to, or if, families move on, right? Children grow up and they create their lives elsewhere. And so it seems as though more and more homes are getting sold onto the list. So hopefully that creates an opportunity for those people who are waiting.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, that is all the time we have. Very interesting stuff. That's Alison Rogers, chair of the Toronto Island Trust. Alison, appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
And of course, you have until October 29th at 4 p.m. to put your name on that list to maybe get into one of those 27 spots.